in this short tutorial, I'm going to show you what is the difference between the dynamic brightness and the regular brightness. Alright, before we start this video, first of all, I would like to say that I speak and explain things very slowly. And that might be a problematic for you if you're looking for a video that is very fast paced. But in my point of view, it doesn't really work because, when I have to explain the tools and the techniques, you can, catch the explanation and understand the explanation very well when somebody speaks very slowly. That's just my point of view. However, we can go down in the tool of your video and then speed it up to make the video even faster if you like. Second, it's always useful to come back to the video whenever necessary because you might forget what I just explained. And in order to revisit the video, make sure that you save the video for future reference. And third, go down in the description below and then click on the link in order to download the software. Unless you already have the software, that's fine. But if you don't have it, go down in the description below and then click the link in order to download the software to try it out by yourself. Best way to learn anything. And then if you like, I'm more than happy to provide you the raw photo that I'm using for this video so that you can practice it on your own. And that way, you will never forget any tools and you can actually learn a lot faster. Now, let's jump into the video. Enjoy photography. So let's jump into this tutorial very quickly. So I'm going to get rid of that and then drag and drop an image. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So essentially they're both brightness, but question is what is exactly the purpose of two different brightness? So things to know before working on a JPEG file, you imported at least a JPEG. So, that doesn't really matter. That's not the objective of this image. I have something on the top of the image. This is a black and white image though. It's not a black and white image. It's a color image. I'm going to show you actually here that is originally a color image, but because it's automatically drag and dropped in the Siver Efex, so it's applied the neutral preset. Now you can see that it's a little bit dark, so you need brightness. So obviously, if you pay attention to the histogram, you have this brightness and you have this dynamic brightness. Now, what is the difference exactly? What is going on? What is going on essentially that when you for me, could you just pay attention to this histogram, because that is the most important part that you need to pay attention to. Typical brightness is pushing the mid-tone to semi-highlight all the way up. Now I'm going all the way to 100. So that's what the brightness does typically. See, if I reset and then do exactly the same all the way to 100 for the dynamic brightness though, you see that it's even at 100 it remains quite subtle and less aggressive. So that's basically it. The difference between the dynamic brightness and brightness is essentially that where the brightness, if you go all the way to 100, not only it pushes the highlight, but it also, not the highlight, I'm sorry, mid-tone, but it's pushing from the shadow all the way to mid-tone to the right. And it's almost no shadow exists. Dynamic brightness though, if you go all the way to 100, that is pushing only and only the mid-tone while somewhat protecting the shadow, because you need contrast in your image. Without contrast, the image, unless you have something in your mind, generally speaking, looks very, very flat, like this example. And I always recommend you to go to help on the top. If you're not seeing it, I'm going to turn on my pen tool. Give me a second. There you go, the pen tool, and then go here, this help color, and then up. Then go to the user guide, and it will open this page directly from DxO. Then you can go to Siver Efex, and in the Siver Efex they will explain you pretty much all the tool. To be honest, it's a fantastic way to learn your tools very well. Now, what they say about the dynamic brightness and brightness? Good question. So, according to them, there you go. The global adjustment, you have number 1. So I'm going to zoom in for a little bit. So brightness changes the brightness of the image, moving the slider to the left, darken the image, while moving it to the right, increase the brightness of the image. Now dynamic brightness though has a little bit more explanation. Uses a unique algorithm that automatically adjusts the different area of the image. This slider allows for finer changes in brightness, ensuring that the image retains a good range of detail, as you saw earlier, preserves contrast, as you saw earlier, and that's exactly what I just said, and intelligently applies the brightness value to different areas of the image. Move to the slider to the left, darken the image while retaining the detail in the highlight. We're gonna try it out later. And moving slider to the right will lighten the image while retaining the detail of the shadows. We already saw that, but let's do it in opposite direction. So regular brightness, if you go to the left, is practically dark, but if you go the dynamic brightness to the left, you still have details in the highlight, which is quite fantastic. Now, interestingly, after that, if you want to do something awesome, then you can actually even, let's say, could create something. I'm just showing you just for the sake of example, but you can fine tune it, of course. And then I'm gonna do that for the sake of example, very nice and quick. Trust me, you can do much better than me. I'm just showing you the different what you can do. So when you darken the image, like that with the global adjustment, and then you can just slide the image up, not the brightness, but the dynamic brightness, if you have it somewhere. Interestingly, you don't have it here. Or you can amplify white, I guess. Yeah, you can amplify white. And a touch of brightness, touch of structure, the finest structure, let's say. We're going to explain you exactly what is the finest structure later. Structure in the mid-tone. Structure in the blacks, probably opposite direction. So I'm showing you just for the sake of example, as I said earlier, but if you look at it, it's kind of like the chateau is standing out, and that's pretty awesome in my opinion. That's like, if you even with my quick and easy editing, this I find it quite phenomenal. I can actually do much better, probably raise the brightness up quite a bit, add a contrast little bit more, amplify the white again quite more. I think it's pretty much high anyway. But my point is that it still looks pretty subtle, in a sense that kind of like your eye and your focus is going straight to the in the middle, where you want people to see, where the rest of it exists while they're not directly visible, which is quite fantastic in my opinion. So anyway, that's the beauty of dynamic brightness versus the brightness. I hope you like this little tutorial. If you do like it, please show me some support by doing whatever you can do. Take care of yourself, and bye bye.